Let's see if this works. What do you see there, Dave? On my screen. Let's see if this works.
The trivia night picture thing, powered by the Purple Cow.
All right, I'm going on mute.
Me too.
Not in the city, so be on time, be on time. Keep your phone in the line while you're waiting for your coffee. You got things on your mind like who's it to and who's it from? Who's in CC? I don't got time to care if it don't concern me. No, I needed a distraction from my distractions. Something to pull me away. I'm falling behind. I'm falling behind. I'm falling behind. I'm fading away. I'm fading away. Staring at my options and I am scrolling through a world of light, and it has been designed to feel just like my very own world. And you are there and I am there. I can see that you seem happy just like me. Oh. 'Cause you are smiling in all your photos, and I'm like that, and I like that too. But when did this too become the house we live in, laughing and playing? Let's go outside, our skin is waterproof, I promise. I just miss your smell And I miss your eyes, elements of surprise, elements all together that melt away our disguise. And underneath this frozen moment, there you are, and there I am with you. With you. I needed a distraction from my distraction. Something to pull me away. I'm falling behind. I'm falling behind. I'm falling behind. I'm fading away. Thank you very much. You can break the bank or win the lottery, collect the finest worldly pottery. You win the game, be the underdog, or lose your way in the thick of fog. You could buy a home, a little fixer-upper, get a cutting board, cook yourself some supper. Spend all of your days searching for the thing that eventually shows up at your door. You can meet your match or meet your maker, have a lot to offer and not find a taker. You could have a bestie who's not a human. You could plant a seed and never see it blooming. You could be a joyful and graceful dancer. You could find your calling and they could find a cancer. You could feel the hope that you've been holding on, changing shapes, but never gone. There are only two permanent things in this world. Two permanent things in this world. Physics and love. Physics and love. There are only two permanent things in this world. Two permanent things in this world. Physics and love. Physics and love. You could be a slugger stuck in a slump and feel a mountain when you hit a bump. When a light is lit and you catch a glimpse of the path you walk and where you've strayed since, you could orbit like a little asteroid, feel like you're floating in a void. You get so close, you can nearly taste it. It's enough to make you wish you never chased it. And you reach a distant point of apogee. It's the furthest point that you could ever be from the candle that you feel has flickered out. And you're drained of everything except your doubt. But remember, if you're feeling scared, the E is equal to MC squared. And the speed of light is working as it should, and the weight of the world is good. There are only two permanent things in this world. Two permanent things in this world. Physics and love. Physics and love. I want to hear you. There are only two permanent things in this world. Two permanent things in this world. Physics and love. Physics and love. There are only two permanent things in this world. Two permanent things in this world. Physics and love. Physics and love. Many have been the reasons we have met along the way. To close the chapter, split the difference. The things that the reasons used to say. Somehow you knew something I didn't. You kept on the light in the darkest hour. My mind got lost when my heart was in air. And that's when I felt your power. Your power is your patience. Your power is truth. When you lay it all on me, there's nothing all I can do. It's a deeper kind of knowing. Knowing all alone. Because I saw you in my dreams. Had a dream last night, last night, last night. Had a dream last night, and it was of you. You might, oh, mine, this dream. I will never let you go. Had a dream last night, last night, last night. Had a dream last night, and it was of you. You might, oh, mine, this dream. I will never let you go.
Yo. Dave, are you with me?
I am with you. Hey, buddy. Long time no see.
You with me, bud?
Oh, yeah, I'm here. Am I? Aren't I?
What's that?
I can see me.
Yeah, buddy. Let's go.
Yo. Weird. Ready for this. I'm ready to stop everybody.
I am with you.
Oh, I got some videos.
Hey, buddy. Long time no see.
Yeah, where's this other video?
With me, bud? Oh, yeah, I'm here. Am I? Aren't I? What's that? I can see me.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, buddy.
Did that fix it? Is it sorted? Did you mute me?
Party!
Hey,
What's up, brother?
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
It's not letting me put my video on. But more importantly, where do people need to go to join us tonight?
YouTube. Go to YouTube. Well, if you would be on YouTube to already you'd have to
brother?
go to YouTube to hear this.
YouTube.com/A for Adventure TV.
Yeah, sounds smart to me.
All right.
All right. All right, everybody, we're here. This is happening. We're going to get started here in a few minutes, but you know, as usual, like any night of adventure, we're having standard technology issues as we do every time. Yeah, just kind of standard protocol. But we'll sort it out. There shouldn't be too much of a problem. Yeah, set up a real humdinger. Oh, he's back.
I'm back.
Got a real humdinger of a round. I'll be shaking in your boots over there. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. I've gone a little bit easier on everybody. I think I tried anyways. I mean, but for the ones that you don't know, just think of it as a good little bit of learning.
A little bit of learning.
There he is. What's up, Bradley?
Trivia! Let's do it.
Let's do a little round of intros here. Dave, why don't you say hello to those who might not know who your handsome face is?
Oh, hey, everybody. My name's Dave. I'm a platform under Greener Adventures, organized Night of Adventure, and co-host this awesome trivia with everybody here. Generally promoter of badassery. That's a word. It's a word now.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
Promotion of badassery. So I'm rocking my Hudson's Bay coat tonight in commemoration of a big trip I started 12 years ago today. They kind of changed everything for me. So
What was the trip?
I have enough fur on my face. I could just wear my wool coat tonight.
That's right.
That should probably work out fine.
We look
Yeah,
good, Bradley.
The trip kilometers across Canada in a canoe.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
Bradley, who
That's me.
are you, Bradley? Farquhar?
Yeah, my name's Bradley Farquhar. I am born and raised in Nova Scotia. I've done some pretty fun, badass things to try to keep up with these guys. It's tough, but I like the long journeys that are really hard on the body and good for the soul. So most recently did the Iditarod, which is a 1,000-mile dog sled race across Alaska.
No big deal.
No big deal. Swam the English Channel and climbed a couple mountains and ran some long races. But all in all, I love it here in Nova Scotia, and I wouldn't live anywhere else. But I'm one of the co-founders of Purple Cow Internet, and I'm a big space nerd. I'm proud to say it. In fact, I went to a space university down in Australia, and I spent 2 years working with a company called Space VR in San Francisco, where we were developing a satellite that would launch to low Earth orbit and take virtual reality content. It would be the first of its kind. And tonight I'm going to be hosting space trivia and our most badass adventure that's ever happened, which is the adventure to the moon. And I'll walk you guys through that.
That's pretty tough to argue. Yeah, it's pretty tough to argue. You're right. That's
Yeah.
super badass.
I'm not surprised you went to space school either. That does not. Anyway, I remember last time we had a talk, I was like, oh, I'd love to fly here. And you're like, oh, I can fly. I have a plane. I have my license. I'm like, what? Who are you, Bradley?
Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. So my name's Chris Surratt, and I'm with A for Adventure, and I'm stoked to kick things off. We're going to get right into what we got going on here once I figure out my life. Got to bring my screen. I got 2 screens, and like it really throws me off. But we're going to give her a go, everybody. What's that?
That's why we have Brad here.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and we'll go over the rules and regulations of the evening.
Yeah, we all want some fair play out there.
Yeah, well, this is all just for fun, having a good time, bored out of our minds. I've just been doing house projects. That's why there's like paint on my hands and stuff. So here we are. And as Bradley mentioned, he is the co-founder of Purple Cow Internet. And this is powered by Purple Cow because all of us are using Purple Cow Internet. So let's hope things go smoothly, eh, Bradley?
Yeah, that's right.
We'll just blame Zoom anyway. It's all Zoom's fault if anything happens.
That's right.
Here we go. Here are the rules. You'll notice that beautiful background, Dave. Like that faint background there?
Oh, that is gorgeous.
I know. So those who are playing along, all you got to do is write your team name in the comments when you, I think I've seen a few names flying around already. Yeah, pick a team leader, those who you're playing with. We're going to do 3 rounds. I'm going to kick things off. I got a special guest joining me momentarily as well to help me through that round. Lee Frazier from Live Life Intense is going to pop in. All you have to do is email after each round trivia@aforadventure.ca. Put your name on it, your team name. At the end of each round, everyone who sent an email, we're just going to draw a random name and give away some prizes. I'll talk about that in a second. After each round that we go through the correct answers, you need to put your name or put your score in the comments. Let us know how everyone's doing. We want to see how everyone's stacking up.
Yeah, you keep it simple too. You can take a picture of your answers and just email that, like whatever's simplest.
Yeah, picture of your answers, exactly. You can just write down. That's what I do, write down and send them in when I'm playing on this. Here are the prizes. First overall team's going to get a 4-pack from North. Everyone on the team is also going to get a digital download for the new Cabot Trail documentary. And our boy Lee Frazier, who helped put that together, is going to talk to us about that. It's super cool, amazing documentary. I just watched it a few nights ago about the Cabot Trail, about the businesses and the people that make the Cabot Trail so awesome. It's super cool. They did an amazing job. The first round, we're going to do a random draw. That team's going to have a 4-pack from North Brewing, which we're stoked. I'm drinking my Dartmouth Dark right now. I don't usually like dark beer, but I love this one. Second random draw is going to be the digital download. And the third random draw is going to be some swag from the North Face. We have a little bag and we filled it up with some things. So yeah, that is that. There's Lee.
Oh, we got some good team names coming through here.
Nice.
Lunenburg Llamas.
Bubba Gump's Shrimp. Nice. The Neighbors.
Trivia Accord. Very clever.
Awesome. Lee's trying to log in here with his Marguerite Wi-Fi. You'll see how it goes.
He's not in the herd yet. Yet. He will be after this.
All right, well, let's get going.
All right, let's do this.
Oh, it comes. Nice. The neighbors. Trivia cord. Very clever. Awesome.
Someone's got playback on there. This Marguerite Wi-Fi. You'll see how it goes. You guys hear that?
He will be after this. All right, well, let's get going. Let's do this.
Can you hear me?
I'm getting playback, guys. Are you guys getting that?
Nope.
Nope. We're good. All right. So here we go. You guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, sweet. Okay.
For sure.
First round.
First round, first question. Name this location.
Hmm.
I'm not going to give too many hints. I will say that I guess I should preface that these photos are all from Atlantic Canada.
Oh, I thought you were going to say stolen from Google.
Yep. Yeah, some of them are stolen from Google. I ran out of like all the photos that like Adam and all we have are all from like certain parts. And like, anyways, I had to go branch off and steal some photos from the internet for this one. So.
Gosh, that's so pretty.
It's so beautiful. I've been there. That is a beautiful waterfall. It kind of cascades off the end here. Beautiful spot. Yeah. Number 2. At 817 meters, this park has the highest peak in the Maritimes.
I really like this place.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful place. And I underline Maritimes because that doesn't obviously include Newfoundland. A, Cape Breton Highlands National Park, B, Mount Carleton Provincial Park, C, Sugarloaf Provincial Park, or D, Cabot Landing Provincial Park.
Hmm.
Have you guys been here?
Tricky.
Have you been here, Lee?
No, I haven't. No.
Mm-hmm. Oh, buddy. She's a beauty. Oh, yeah, there's another view of it as well.
It's a stunner. It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely worth going to.
All right, number 3. Name this location.
Some very phallic looking rocks.
Yeah. 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 I actually had not noticed that, Dave.
You know everybody's thinking it.
Now I can't unsee it. It's beautiful, beautiful spot. Despite what Dave trying to taint it. If you were following along on social media today, I did post this photo. It is the Bill Thorpe Walking Bridge. What city is this in? Big hint here on the signpost. If you can see it, it says the St. John River. So
you didn't even let them read it.
What's that?
You didn't even let them read it.
Yeah, well, I can't tell how good everyone's screen is, you know.
2020.
Hey, listen, I'm calling in from Margarita.
Yeah, sounding good. Just a note too, I'm starting to get emails. You don't have to email after every question, just email after the first round. So wait for the first round to be over, take a picture of your answers or put them all in an email and hit send. trivia@aforadventure.ca. Name this provincial park beach. This is a beach, it's very well known. It's just a kind of an interesting perspective, interesting angle. Number 5. Number 6, the most easterly point in North America.
I've never been to this place.
Neither have I.
Oh, no?
Yeah, that's why I have no photos from it. This is another screen grab from, I think, Parks Canada's website, actually.
Never been there. It surprises me.
This one goes out to Janner. This is our photo. This is Jan and I walking into the Stomp and Tom Center. The Stomp and Tom Center is where? It's located in Skinner's Pond, PEI, B, Inverness, Nova Scotia, C, North Rustico, PEI, or D, Tatamgush, Nova Scotia.
Stompin' Tom.
Oh man, it's such a cool place.
Did a really nice job of putting that together.
The place?
Yeah, the place. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful, man. I got a few photos from inside on the answer sheet.
Sweet.
This extremely pixely photo is all little hockey rinks. The World Pond Hockey Championships happen annually in what small New Brunswick community? A, Campbellton, B, Rexton, C, Plaster Rock, or D, Woodstock? We were there 4 years ago. Oh man, what a time. What a spot. Such a cool community built event. Raises hundreds of thousands of dollars for the community. It's 130 teams from all around the world. So fun.
Crazy. That's what we got to do with the gypsum mine.
Yeah.
The old gypsum mines.
All right. Number 9, name this National Historic Site.
Nice shot.
Yeah, I took that with my iPhone.
Hey.
No,
No.
I've come in. I've come in that port many a times.
Yeah. This isn't easy. You know, you got to throw some freebies in there.
Is it easy? I don't know this one.
Really? Cool. Okay.
Huh?
If you look at the city in the background, it would give you a clue for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
Okay. So there we go. There's the first 9. Lee, you ready?
Yeah. You got me.
Lee's
Okay.
gonna take over and do some Cape Breton.
Let's see if I can remember the hints on this one. This is up north. There's a campground that's right at the base of this mountain that's named after this mountain-ish, or it's in the same spot as this mountain or cove. Should I go that far? Oh, I think I may have gone a little too far.
Right down.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, I was just there and it was all full of snow.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you guys were just there. Yeah. So I actually wasn't here. I was sleeping in the van when they took that picture because I stayed up for almost 3 days doing the Creatives Weekend in the fall 2 years ago.
Nice.
Yes. I was up at 5 a.m. cooking everybody breakfast. So that's why I slept in the van.
What a guy.
Yeah. This is taken, I was almost going to say the same day, but it wasn't. This is taken a year later. This is also northern Cape Breton Island. This is the northernmost fishing community in Cape Breton Island, I would say. Fishing, whale watching tours go to this harbor. Which harbor is it?
I love
Not
this
on the-
perspective, man.
Not on the Cabot Trail. Yeah, so my van's right down there on the wharf, and we were going to interview Ray Frazier, who is the head of the Seawall Trail, about the Seawall Trail to be in the documentary, but he didn't make the documentary. And this was like, he was late, so we were just ripped down to the wharf and popped the drone up and took this photo like
Beautiful.
2 seconds later.
Beautiful.
Crazy.
It's a cool perspective.
So this is pretty much the most used hiking trail in the Cape Breton Highlands National Park. It's one place I won't take guided trips to because of that, but because I like to do the more backcountry stuff. But it's a great spot, and this is the perspective from the road. So if you can guess this one, it's a pretty easy one if you know the Highlands Park.
Yeah.
Right.
Also shot during the documentary filming. So this was not in the documentary, but this is also on Cape Breton Island. This is a picture from good friends of mine, Dave and Skylar, who actually live next door to this, I believe, place. So it's one of these 3 places in Cape Breton, 4 places in Cape Breton. Hashtag math. My buddy's dad actually owns this place.
No way. Oh, does he really?
Oh yeah, I've had many a late nights in the far left cottage on the upper floors. They're like their place.
Yeah, we
Oh,
stayed right here in this dude, but this lodge right here,
Oh, yeah.
the main lodge is unreal. A big
Yeah.
pool table in there and big fireplace. It was this
Yeah, man.
blew me away.
Yep, it's fun. It's a blast, and they have all their sleds. They have like a little shed with all their sleds in it. So this is leg, I believe, 11 on the Cabot Trail relay. For those of you that have run the relay, this is the one of 3 mountains. Now that's the only clue I'm going to give everybody, because that pretty much gives it if you know the relay and know the three mountains in the Highlands. But this is, I believe, 14 kilometers or 11 kilometers. I can't remember. No, 14 straight uphill. Actually, I think it's a kilometer of running to the base and then straight up for the rest of it. So 13 kilometers straight up this road, which is ridiculous. Yeah, this is shot by a friend of mine, Sanjay. He's from Toronto.
Man.
It's a different perspective of this road, which is why I chose this picture, because it's a little more challenging rather than the usual perspective that people usually get.
When I biked around the Cabot Trail, I got to go down this mountain. And
So did I.
It's a crazy. I think it was the first turn because it's a long straightaway. I almost flew off the road right about here. It was one of the. It goes down as like at the top 10 scariest moments of my life for sure. Yeah,
My dad was driving a log truck when he was probably early 20s, I think, and lost his air brakes going down this. So yeah, this shot, wow, this one almost didn't happen. We had been up, we'd filmed for a week. We did a whole weekend of the Craves weekend again in August or October, sorry. And we had about 5 hours of sleep, and we decided to wake up at 4 a.m, and alarm went off, and we decided to try make it here. And almost everybody almost everybody rolled back over to go to bed, and then we're just like, you know what, we're gonna go capture this. And we got there, excuse me, and the sun, this is at probably about 6 a.m, and the sun is just like reflecting off the side of the face of this.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy, man. There's a whole different perspective, and we got so many crazy stories like that from the filming of the documentary. Yeah, it's wild. It's a whole different perspective, man. You don't really realize it's like that at all being there.
No.
Okay, so there we go. Email. That's the end of the first round. Yeah, round one. So email me your questions, your answers rather, trivia@adventure.ca. And I will pick a winner in a couple minutes, and for the random prize for round one, and then we'll go over the we'll go over the answers first, I guess. In the meantime, Lee,
Yo,
I'd like to hear about your documentary. I was telling people earlier when we first got on, kind of the gist of it, I guess. But why don't you tell the folks what you created, because it was friggin', it is awesome.
Oh man, there's so much that we didn't put in it too. It's so crazy. So about a year and a half ago, I was working in Northern Africa and Libya, and I had this idea of doing this travel show about Cape Breton Island, but all the people that I've met from starting Live Life Intense, and it was going to be a web series. And at the time, I thought that there was so many different people trying to do these mini series, so there was just a lot of content coming out. So we want to do something completely different. And I sat there and I was thinking about it, and in my off time, and then I came up with this idea. I'm like, nobody's doing like full-length documentaries in the East Coast on adventure tourism in the East Coast, and there's a few of them. Like, and one big inspiration was Dave and what they were doing with theirs. And then I just came back and pitched the idea. So we decided to feature a bunch of operators that I've worked with over the last 4 years, starting Live Life Intense. And we had a long list of different businesses and future developments coming in Cape Breton Island, but we had to really narrow it down, and narrowed it down to 6 operators, which would be obviously myself, Live Life Intense, my friend Jeremy with Cape Breton West Paddleboards, Chris went to university with, and then crazy, Jimmy Peterson. Yeah, Jimmy Peterson, who's a fly guide in Cape Breton Island. Jay Rodding, who runs Highland Bow and Arrow in Skirdu, which is near Wreck Cove, Northern Cape Breton. Angelo Spinazzola, who North River Kayak Tours, who's been here for the longest. He's been here for like almost 30 years. And Bryson Striker Lyons, who is the godfather of longboarding, as they call him, from BC. Yeah, man. He's got so many. He's got like 5 documentaries made about him. There's like 2 from Vice. And what else? He's got another one. Like, he's skinny. He's like skinnier than I am in the documentary. It's weird. It's crazy. But so we filmed this thing all summer. So we started in June and we ended in for the film that we actually used, we ended in October, but we filmed a bunch in the wintertime, man. We filmed Across the Highlands, Snowshoe Trip. We filmed all kinds of stuff that was supposed to be in it that just didn't make it because we had so much stuff from last summer. But we wanted to tell a story of what it was like to live and operate a tourism-based business, specifically in the adventure tourism space in Cape Breton Island during the summer. The setup, the unknowing, the craziness of only having 2 to 4 months of work to make enough money to kind of bridge you until the next year, and growing, and the resurgence of young people moving back home or moving to the island from away to start businesses here. So that's kind of what we aimed at doing. And it went through probably 6 different versions, and the stories changed, and then it winged all the way, came full circle back to the original story. And that's what we came up with and we put out last Friday. So it's like a 56-minute long documentary about following 6 operators around the trail. And we have kind of cameos from Ski Cape Smoky, from Martin, who runs Ski Cape Smoky development. And who else is in it? Oh, Jaron and Merv, Dancing Goat, and the Brie Cafe. And yeah, man, it was fun making it. It was a lot of work in editing and post, but a lot of months. We spent the whole winter doing it, pretty much. I had what's that?
You can tell that it took you a long time. It's really well done, all the way through. And what I like about it the most is it's just the stories of all the operators and getting a kind of behind the scenes look at how they're running their businesses and how everyone's collaborating and working together. It's pretty awesome, man. It's pretty inspiring.
Yeah, well, that was the whole, that's what it's like here, pretty much. So basically the film is like my viewpoint on what it's like in Cape Breton Island, starting a business, moving back home. It's kind of an underlying story within the film. But yeah, all these people I've worked with since they moved here. Bryson, I met at a square dance in Southwest Marguerite 4 years ago when I first started Live Life Intense, and I pulled in and he was there with his tour of downhill longboarders or downhill skateboarders that were doing the trail and bombing down all the hills. And that's how I met him, at a square dance at 11 p.m. at night, drinking. And I was probably riding on the back of a truck down a dirt road to a square dance and then pulled in, and Bryson's there. So
that's amazing. Yeah,
it's pretty interesting, man. Yeah. And it was almost like put on the back burner until the end of the year. And then when all this stuff kicked off in March, and I was inspired by a story from, I think, was it Evolve or Revolve Fitness, downtown Halifax? Evolve, I think Evolve Fitness. Anyways, they were doing like a fundraiser for local businesses. So they were like, all their memberships went online, they went on streaming from what I understand, and they donated all the profits to small businesses. And I think from what I was told was like within their membership, so people that were paid members to their fitness facility that were small business owners downtown, it got put into a fund and they raised a bunch of money for those people. So then we had the ability to put everything aside and then edit this film to kind of like do something positive for the adventure tourism space with an unknown season. So that's why I put a big rush on it and spent 3 weeks straight, the last 3 weeks leading up to the release, 12 hours a day, just hammering through it on a laptop that should never have been used for editing video. Off the shelf MacBook Pro from Future Shop, Best Buy. Yeah, I spent more time waiting for things to load than I did actually editing.
Yeah, I can relate to that. Awesome, man. That's great. We're super. I like I said, I watched it. It was amazing. Yeah, stick around if you want to. If anyone has any questions, I put the link from livelifeintense.com in the comments. Click on the link to watch it. A few of you are going to walk away with the prize tonight, though. In the meantime,
Adam Young wants to know: is this Cape Breton or what?
Yeah. He said Irwa.
Is it ER apostrophe wa?
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I got a whole whack of emails. I just got one about 10 seconds ago. I'm gonna say that's the last one, and we're gonna go over the answers for round one, and then I'm gonna pick a lucky random winner
Whoa, drum roll.
You're what? Or what? You're what? I'll never know. I lived in the valley for too long. It's all tickety boo.
All right. Number 1.
All right, so I got a whole whack of emails. That looks. I just got one about 10 seconds ago. I'm gonna say that's the last one. And
You guys getting feedback there?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is that under control now?
Yep.
Yeah.
You.
I didn't know if it was me or not. Number 2, Mount Carlton Provincial Park. Man, such a beauty spot. And this is us on the right. We took a bunch of international students there 2 falls ago. What's going on, Dave?
Did you
Did
number
you give them
one?
all fancy sunglasses?
Western Brook Pond. I did number 1. Yep. Yep. Western Brook Pond was number 1, and then we get the feedback, so I X'd out. Yeah, we did. Those are all like Explore NB sunglasses.
Yeah, they're badass. I like them.
Yeah. Pretty awesome. Number 3 is Hopewell Rocks, and I threw in the high tide, low tide here because it's pretty freaking cool. If you've never been there before, obviously, it's a really neat spot. Best viewed by kayak for sure. Number 4 was my really good hints. Hopefully, most people got this one. This is Freddy Town, Freddy Beach. And that's, you can see us blurred down there. It's just a screenshot I grabbed from the drone from some tourism work a couple of years ago.
Fredericton is a really cool town. If no one's ever.
It really is, yeah. All jokes aside, yeah. L-Town Beach, just down the street from my house. This is one of Adam Cornick's photos. It's just a cool perspective. You have to kind of really think about where this is. It almost feels like it's in the South Shore somewhere, but up in the Eastern
If it
Shore.
wasn't for the cars parked on the left there, I wouldn't have got it.
Yeah, that's the big hint. I almost cut that out, but I was like, if I do that, it's really hard.
That's the hint, yeah.
Yeah. Number 6 is Cape Spear, Newfoundland. This is a National Historic Site, right, Adam Young?
Is that a little lighthouse there, I would say then?
It is, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think this might be an older photo. It probably is. I should have looked at that, but I think it was on the Parks Canada website.
Is Cape Spear the answer twice in this round?
No. The answer, I didn't put the letter, shoot. Skinner's Pond, which I think was A. Stomp and Tom. And this is us with our cheesy cheersing tourism shots. I had to put those in just because it was funny. Jan trying to sing Stomp and Tom. I wish we had the audio from it. Jan's a good singer, but he didn't do a very good job in this case, as you can tell by his face.
He doesn't smoke enough.
Yeah, exactly. Number 8 is the beautiful Plaster Rock, New Brunswick. And like I said, if you've never been here for this, you ought to go. It is a time. It usually happens in, I think it's in February.
It's the world's biggest outdoor hockey tournament, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hockey tournament?
Yeah.
It's like hundreds of people playing. Like it's ridiculous.
Well, there's there's 500 people that play because there's like 5 per team and there's 120 something teams. So it is, it's unreal. The hardest part is to try to find somewhere to stay. So you got to get on that early. Number 9 is Signal Hill National Historic Site. That is St. John's in the background, Dave.
Signal Hill.
St. John's.
I thought Signal Hill and Cape Spear were the same place.
Welcome to grade 2.
All right, Lee.
Oh, you want me to read these ones out? Cool.
Why not?
This one is Meat Cove Mountain.
Ooh.
Yeah, above Meat Cove Campground. It's actually not as long as a hike as I thought. So,
You know what? It isn't, but it was in the snow when the snow was up to our waist, and sometimes. Oh man, it was a slug.
Meat Cove was in trivia last week too, right?
Yeah, I had the aerial shot. Yeah.
Campground, yeah. So this is Bay St. Lawrence. So it's on your way to Meat Cove. Just the town you pass through to go to Meat Cove. So yeah, cool little village, town.
Wow.
Whatever. There's somebody that are stopping in. Oh, and the famous scale line. Skyline Trail. Hope some people got this.
That's the Skyline Trail.
Oh yeah, that's like if you go out to the boardwalk comes down, and then you're not allowed going out to the point. Technically,
That's right.
got it.
Gotcha.
Celtic Key, yeah, Celtic Key Lodge. So in Waikagama, yeah, this is a fun spot, man. They did a really good job with the photos this day. I've seen a lot of the footage from that day as well. The drone footage is crazy. Oh, and
Man.
you guys in the ice.
Yeah, that's us in the winter. That's just a quick snap that Adam Hill took when we were.
You're supposed to go meet you guys that day.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, this is like this place blew me away. I can't believe how nice this spot is. Unreal.
Mackenzie Mountain. Oh yeah, baby. Yeah, that's the one. Normally people see the other vantage point from the other side, so you get that like squiggly line going up the mountain, and it's usually all the stuff in tourism you see it's all in the fall. But yeah, Mackenzie Mountain, man.
Yeah, it's a
Windy
great shot.
turns. Nearly died multiple times going up and down that thing. And the infamous Cape Clear. Man, the one thing that I'm going to be curious about is that once we get this documentary and keep pushing it, is like the traffic going up the Cape Clear, because the last like half a kilometer is literally the worst road. You think that any road that you've driven on is bad until you get there. They're literally lakes. They're not potholes. They're lakes.
They just like, you could just hike up the last kilometer though. You don't need to.
Yeah. You can park inside the road. Yeah, right when it turns off and it kind of turns to the right, you're going around a clear cut, and then you kind of stop, and then you turn right. But it goes through all these like potholes that are literally lakes, and there's a big rock in one of them. And I was going up, and I met another guy from Marguerite coming out. And last year I had the van, and he smashed his whole like side step off his truck because he didn't see the rock in the middle of the pond. But you know, away she goes, man.
I got all the answers here. I put everything, copy and paste. I'm just going to do like a scroll and stop and pick a random. Nicole Bootlier.
Woo, Nicole.
Oh, you're gonna win something. Probably beer.
Getting
What is,
something
is
cool.
it the beer?
I don't know.
I forget. I'm going to go back to the first slide here.
Oh, it could be the doc, right?
The random prize. The first one is the we're going to do the doc. Right. That's right.
Sweet. It's got to be, because we're talking about Cape Breton.
Yeah.
And with all the local tourism that's going to go down hopefully this summer, you know, you count on seeing my face in Cape Breton a lot, I think, in the near future.
Nicole Bootlier.
Glad you get a permanent spot at my place.
Got a place to stay at yours, Lee? You got a boat?
Yeah, you got the Dave Green zone.
Just
Actually, we're
just
the
keep
green zone. The green zone. It'll be called the green zone.
All right, Dave, you're up. Round two, brother.
weird. Don't go over to the green zone. just leave them alone. All right, here we go. Round two.
You're up.
Yeah, I'm up. All right, this is really good. So I thought long and hard about this, and it's all about literature. So this is all adventure literature, and indirectly, while I was going through and making all the slides for this, it kind of turned into like a bit of a history lesson, because the vast majority of the books, like 13 out of 15 of the ones that I picked, are actually pretty old. So I don't know. I think I've phrased them in such a way that I think a lot of people will be able to get a lot of the questions right. But if not, like, you're going to learn something, then you're going to have things to go read. And that's pretty exciting. So as I'm going through here, maybe everybody can fire up on the YouTube chat what score they think they got there on the first round. We can have a peek and gander while we go through this to see who is taking the lead and who's definitely not taking the lead after this. Okay, ready? 1. This book is a 1954 novel by Nobel Prize winning British author William Golding. The book focuses on a group of British boys stranded on an uninhabited island and their disastrous attempt to govern themselves.
Oh, dude, this is like the greatest book ever.
Yes, this book too, I think most people of our generation were forced to read this book in elementary school.
Oh, big time.
Yeah. Like across the country. I think everybody was.
There's a movie about it, right? Like
Yeah.
it's a pretty crummy movie, but like it got the point across.
Yeah. There's no, yeah. All right. Question number 2. Books such as Tom Sawyer and the Adventures of Huckleberry Finn were written by which author? The author's real name or born name was Samuel Langhorne Clemens. Who wrote Tom Sawyer? You see, this is one of the questions. I could have phrased this one differently and stumped everybody, because if you don't know what this guy's born name was, you should just know. It's a cool fact, because a lot of authors have their pen names and it's not actually their real names. Just another example. Do you guys know one off the top of your head? Dr. Seuss. Anyways, who wrote Tom Sawyer?
Teacher Dave, we're getting schooled.
Question number 3. A novel by American author Jack London, and the name of the book's main character, a wild wolf dog. It was first published in 1906. The story details the main character's journey to domestication in Yukon Territory during the Klondike Gold Rush. What was the title of this book? Brad, do you have this one memorized?
Like this is one of the ones you read as a kid and it shapes your life. Like this story sticks with you for a long time.
So actually, now that I think a couple of, at least 3 of the questions in my literature around here are kids' books that I read as a kid.
It's kind of crazy too when you do read it as a kid, how it does shape your life, and you look back and like, oh, why'd you do this? Well, I read it in a book when I was a little guy and I always wanted to do it.
Yeah, you're right. Yep. Question number 4.
Whoa.
An 1851 novel by American writer Herman Melville. The book is the sailor Ishmael's narrative of the obsessive quest of Captain Ahab of the whaling ship Pequod. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but that's the way I always pronounced it. So, what's the name of this book? Crazy badass story too. So this one's based off of a true story, based off of events that happened in a true story. There's a whaling ship called the Essex. That was a real boat with real people on it that was sunk by a whale. And they floated around in their drift boats and their lifeboats in the Pacific Ocean, were eventually picked up by random whalers and then sailed back to Nantucket. And these are the days before the Panama Canal. They had to go all the way around the Cape, the Straits of Magellan on the South America back then. So these guys are really up to creek with those.
Crazy.
Anyways, name of this book. Question number 5. This expedition and book by the same title of the expedition was a 1947 journey by balsa wood raft across the Pacific Ocean from South America to the Polynesian Islands, led by Norwegian explorer Thor Heyerdahl. What was the name of this expedition or book? Right? Super badass. Have you guys read this one?
Oh, you got me stumped on this one.
What?
Yeah, I don't know this one.
Yeah, 1947 too. He's like, I'm just going to do this because I know it's coming. Full send, full committal.
Got a British flag up there and he's doing the Pacific Ocean?
He's got the Norwegian flag too down there in the American flag. Maybe it's just a thing.
Yeah. What's that top flag? Maybe Canadian flag or something? I don't know.
Probably not. Okay, question number 6. This is a book by Albert Bigelow Payne, chronicling his travels through inland Nova Scotia on a trout fishing trip with Dr. Edward Breck and with guides Charles the Strong and Dell the Stout in June of 1900s. It was published in 1908. What is the title of this book that chronicles a fishing trip through the Keji-Tobiatic area of Nova Scotia in the
Do you
early
get any extra hints for this one?
1900s? You want extra hints?
No, you can't give any more hints for that.
Isn't that a lot of hints?
That's a lot of hints, yeah.
It's regionally relevant. It happened down in Keji or
Oh,
Tobiatic.
that's a hint.
It's a huge hint.
Tobiatic, I guess, but
Both. It kind of started
yeah.
one place into another.
Yeah.
Keep going. I don't think I need to though. You should know this if you're in Nova Scotia.
A terrible Nova Scotian.
Question number 7. A Walk in the Woods is a 1998 autobiography. A Walk in the Woods is a book from 1998 describing his attempt to walk this long distance trail in the northeastern United States. This is a really good book. This is probably the most modern book I have in here. Have you guys read this one?
Yes.
Yes.
Nope.
It's good. It's funny. He uses a lot of humor. You'll laugh while you're reading it.
Did you see the movie?
No, there's a movie?
It's good.
Really?
Yeah, they did a good job. I forget who, Robert Redford, was it? Yeah.
Well, that looks like Robert Redford right there in the picture.
Oh, you're right. It is. Yeah. This is the picture from the movie.
Yeah. There you go.
Good one, Dave.
This is a book that he wrote about himself. So whatever that big long word that starts with an A is, that's what it means.
It's him and Nick Nolte, isn't it?
Autobiographical.
All right. Question number 8. This publication has been continuously in print since its first issue in 1888, 9 months after the society itself was founded. It primarily contains articles of science, geography, history, and world culture. The magazine is known for its thick, square-bound, glossy format with a yellow rectangular border and its extensive use of dramatic photographs. It should be a pretty easy one. You should all get
I
this.
feel like this is the most easy one.
Is it?
Yeah,
Only because I put that yellow border on it, right?
totally the yellow border. Totally.
I didn't even have to put words, just the yellow. What is it?
Yeah.
All right, question 9. This woman followed her husband's ill-fated expedition to Labrador in 1903. The book, The Woman Who Mapped Labrador, are the diaries from this woman's trip, and she became the first person or first Westerner to travel there, but the first person to map and document the interior of Labrador. What was her name? She was following a trip that Dylan Wallace wrote a book called The Lure of the Labrador Wild. But she became the first person to do it. It's a woman in 1903. It's super badass. It's crazy, crazy, crazy story. If you haven't heard this woman's name, it's kind of why I put it in there, because I figured most people haven't, and you should. It should just be part of our cultural, education in Canada. Everybody should know this person.
She's got a gun in her lap. She seems pretty badass.
Who is this woman? Question 10. This is an 1899 story by novelist Joseph Conrad about a voyage up the Congo River into the heart of Africa. Charles Marlowe, the narrator, tells his story of his obsession with the successful ivory trader Kurtz. Anybody? Bueller? Anybody? Do you guys know this one? Oh, come on.
Nope.
Come on.
Nope.
Okay, there's a famous movie that's based off of this book or inspired by this book.
It's called The Congo.
It's called Apocalypse Now.
I never saw it.
Apocalypse Now was inspired by this book.
Oh.
This is more of a journey into the mind, but these guys, they go up the Congo River in the late 1800s. And the Congo in that time, when it was ruled by the Dutch, it was totally a crazy place to go. But they go. The Congo River is the 4th longest river in the world, and it's the 2nd highest volume after the Amazon. So it's the 4th longest, but it has the 2nd highest volume. It's one of the biggest waterfalls in the world on it. Nobody's allowed to go there because it's closed.
Huh.
Yeah. So what's the name of this book? You should read this book. It's crazy. Question 11. This man was a Canadian writer and environmentalist. His works were translated into 52 languages, and he sold more than 17 million books. He achieved fame with the publication of his books on the Canadian North, such as People of the Deer, Never Cry Wolf, Lost in the Barrens, A Boat Who Wouldn't Float, and on and on and on and on. There's a lot of books that he wrote that we would all know. I'm sure you've all read many of them. Who is this man? There's a Cape Breton connection here. Who is this man? He's Canadian. Brad, you know this one, right?
I think I know his name,
Okay.
but I'm not going to say it just in case.
I'll take a, I think. Okay, question number 12. Okay, this one's a bit wordy. I apologize, but this book is a novel by Daniel Defoe, first published in 1719. It's crazy old. The first edition credited the main character protagonist as its author, leading many readers to believe he was a real person and that the book was based off of true events. The book is presented as an, what's that word again? Autobiography of the main character, a castaway who spends 28 years on a remote tropical deserted island, encountering cannibals, captives, and mutineers before ultimately being rescued.
Woo!
What's the name of this book? 28 years, it's really old. You know, the name of the book's the same name as the dude you're looking at.
Yeah.
Not a true story. Well, it kind of is. It's loosely based off a true story. So the interesting thing about this one is that the true story that inspired this one was a dude who got marooned on an island off the coast of Patagonia, so off of Chile, and he spent like 8 or 9 years down there. He was on a whaling ship and the thing sank, and he swam to this island. He stayed there for years. And then somebody picked him up, found him, and then Daniel Defoe was sailing his last day in a town, and he met this guy who told him the story. Anyways, what's the name of this book? Question number 13. I read this one as a child too. This book is a 1960s children's novel by American writer Scott Odell, which tells the story of a 12-year-old girl named Karana, stranded alone for years on an island off the California coast. So like the Santa Cruz Islands. It is based on the true story of Maria, an Aboriginal person who was left alone for 18 years on San Nicolas Island during the 19th century. What's the title of this book? I read it in like grade 4 or 5 or something. And I remember it always stuck with me. It's kind of like Castaway. Name of this book. Okay. Question number 14. Around the World in 80 Days was first published in 1872. In this story, Phileas Fogg of London and his newly employed French valet Passepartout attempt to circumnavigate the world on a £20,000 wage. This author also wrote Journey to the Center of the Earth and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Who wrote these books? Science fiction, but like adventure, based off of some sort of fact, I'm sure, but classics. Definitely classics. Brad, are you looking up the answers? You can't do that.
Dude, I'm not even playing, so I can look it up.
You just don't know the answer to this?
I just can't remember. Okay, Dave. Like.
Yeah. All right. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
I'll back off. So you're going to give me a hard time on your round. I know it.
Yeah. Look, my trivia is coming up. We'll see if you know all the answers here. At least I give them multiple choice.
Yeah. Good point. Okay, question 15. This fictitious character created by A.A. Milne would be known to say such things as this in his endless search for honey. A hug is always the right size. You're braver than you believe, smarter than you seem, and stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. And sometimes the biggest things take the most room in your heart. Who is this fictitious character? There's a Canadian connection on this one too. Get there. All right, that's it. Send in your answers. Katie got that one. I see that.
Yeah, I was hoping no one else heard it.
Send in your answers. Email those into trivia@aforadventure.ca. And I think Chris is going to draw another random winner. Is it random winner time?
Yes, bye.
Ooh,
I didn't do that.
Dave, you are gonna stop sharing for now. I can't get YouTube to work. I'm worried. I get emails coming through. This is so weird. Anyway, emails are coming through. People are still watching. I wasn't sure if it crashed or something. That was good, Dave. That was not easy.
right?
Totally.
Dave was like, "Oh, I made it easier this time." No, you didn't.
No.
No.
Oh,
It's all good.
sorry.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that felt that way.
No.
Trust me, you're not.
And he
You're
was
not.
stripping me. Like, geez, I had to start looking them up.
You're right. I
You're
apologize.
encouraging
That was
cheating.
mean. Well, just figured, going to Space University and all.
Yeah, I know Suspo Space.
Did you say NASA owns space?
No, I said I know a lot of stuff about space, but NASA might as well own space.
Well, I thought you were quoting the Trailer Park Boys. NASA owns space.
Oh, okay.
All right, we got emails rolling through here.
Nice.
Give it another few seconds. What is Team Abkataru? That's funny.
I don't know.
I won't get you to pronounce that, Dave. Don't worry.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Autobiographical.
There you go.
Sounds good.
I get it.
Yeah.
Oh, I think
You've
so.
been saying it over and over in your head, just preparing for this moment.
I'm practicing. Yeah.
So, Dave, what's the story with the garment you have on?
Oh, the coat here. This is a Hudson's Bay. It'd be called the capote. So it's a wool blanket. It's like a those point blankets you see with the traditional colors, right? Fancy blankets. A couple hundred years ago, they weren't so fancy, and pretty much everybody had one. But it's 100% wool, made in England. And they would take those blankets and literally cut them up into certain pattern and make coats out of them. And the benefit of having a coat 200-300 years ago while traveling through the Canadian wilderness is that when it's all wool and it gets wet, it stays warm, obviously. But then it has this great big hood on it. Big hood. And the sleeves, there's no real pockets in it, but your sleeves are really extra baggy. So you can throw up your hood, tuck in your arms, just kind of lay down on the ground, have a nap wherever you deem good, fit. Yeah. 100% wool. So then you'd wear your sash, right? You wear your sash around you. Like this. And then this becomes your pocket. So no pockets. But if it's winter time and you're traveling, you want to keep your lunch, usually like your pemmican and your bannock, close to your skin so it doesn't freeze. Your pouch of water. and you'd put it right into here. Yeah,
Looks good.
it's pretty sweet.
Is there a sentimental story behind the sweater?
It was given to me at the end of the David Thompson Brigade. So I had a friend on that trip say, I think you're going to get a lot more use out of this than I will. Why don't you take it home with you? Yeah.
Beautiful.
I don't get an opportunity to wear it very often.
That's fair.
I just got an email from someone saying that he was cutting in and out. He's having the same problems. Well, hopefully it's working for most people. Definitely didn't get as many emails that time. Looks like only about 20 emails came through. What are your?
Did I discourage everybody?
No, I don't think it was you. I think there was problems with YouTube. Anyway, here goes the random. You do it anyway.
Yeah.
Margaret Krominga. Margaret Krominga. You are the winner of a 4-pack to North Brewing. So thank you. I will save your email here and get in touch with how to get that. But super easy. They do pickup or delivery. So hopefully you live in the HRM. If not, we'll figure it out. But yeah. And hopefully we're still rocking. Can you guys see the live stream?
I don't know if it's working. I feel like there's a problem somewhere right now.
I think, yeah. Well, it's I just loaded for me for the first time in a while. It looks like it's still working.
All right.
And we did get lots of emails, but not as many as the first round.
I'm sorry.
No, I don't think it was your fault. I truly think YouTube had an issue there. I even Googled YouTube problems, and there was people saying there's problems with YouTube around the universe.
Because they're not using Purple Cow satellites. I need Purple Cow satellites.
Yeah. Oh, the birthday with my crew from Birthday Boy and Co. Oh, nice.
Hey, sweet.
Sweet beer. A 4-pack of beer sounds pretty good for them then. Awesome. Sweet.
I'm gonna fire back and answer some of these questions here for you.
Bradley, you're up, brother.
No, he's not. No.
Oh no.
No.
Oh, answers.
Answers.
Yeah, hurry up. Sorry.
Boom.
I'm so excited for the space. I'm excited for the space questions.
Okay. So I didn't write down I should have put down the questions with the answers, but the answer to the first question is what book? I think it's a 1955 book by William Golding. It's Lord of the Flies, of a group of young British kids get stuck on an island and try to create their own government, and it doesn't go all that well.
Still remember when the parachute blew in the movie, and the parachuters guys' heads come up, and kids all get scared and they run away, thinking it's some sort of god up there.
It's a classic. I think everyone knows it. Hopefully everyone got that one.
That is a classic. Yeah, read that in school.
Okay, sweet. Question 2. Samuel Clemens, who wrote Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry, Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, used the pen name Mark Twain. I think it's a good fact to know, though. You should know this guy's real name. Somebody might get you. It might show up in another round of trivia somewhere. Man, that guy's eyebrows are almost as big as his mustache.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Story about the attempted domestication of a dog in the Yukon during the Klondike Gold Rush was, of course, White Fang. Jack London also wrote The Call of the Wild, which I'm sure most of you know. He also wrote a lot of really great short stories, a lot of them very, very morbid and strange, mostly all to do with the Yukon and around the Klondike times. And there's one really fantastic one called To Build a Fire. So you want something to read. Now that winter's over, you have nothing to worry about really, but To Build a Fire, it's really, really good. Yeah. Question 4. Herman Melville wrote the epic novel Moby Dick? It was also on last week's trivia. Yeah, but you can find, there's also a book out there that's about the true story about the Essex. It's crazy. Bananas. Question to answer number 5. What is the Kentucky? Thor Heyerdahl was the leader of the 1947 expedition to sail across the Pacific Ocean in a balsa wood raft. 1947, called Kentucky. Definitely go look that shit up. It's crazy. Sorry, I swore. 1947, like 2 years after the war. Question 6, Albert Bigelow Payne chronicling his Nova Scotia fishing trip through Kedgie and Tobiatic. No, Brad? No?
No.
No?
No.
Anybody?
Oh, yes, obviously. Oh, you got to, man, Brad, you got to read this, bud.
Gotta read it.
Oh, yeah.
It's on the list.
Yeah, 1908.
Went to 10 plus.
Bill Bryson walked the Appalachian Trail, which extends from Springer Mountain, Georgia to Mount Katahdin, Baxter State Park, Maine. It's about 3,500 kilometers long. Takes approximately 5 months to walk. Approximately. Now, we've never had anybody at Night of Adventure who's walked the AT or the Appalachian Trail. If that's you, reach out. I want to talk.
It's true. Yeah.
Everybody wants to hear your story because that would be cool. We had
Pacific Crest.
We had Tim do the Pacific Crest Trail 2 years ago. That was sweet.
Yeah.
Someone's done the AT, and I know there's people around who have.
Yeah.
Find us.
I didn't know. I never thought of it. We could put the call out. I'm sure we could get someone to do that. That'd be sweet.
Question 8. What publication has been around since 1888 and has continuously been published? It is National Geographic. Question 9. The woman who mapped Labrador in 1903 following an expedition by her ill-fated husband was Mina Hubbard. If you've never heard this name of this woman before, write it down somewhere. Go look it up. It's an amazing, amazing story. She was the first Westerner to go up the Naskapi River and then down the George River to Ungavik Bay in an area that's now largely flooded by Smallwood Reservoir and doesn't exist. So she's one of the few people who got to document that area and mapped it accurately. First. Question 10. Joseph Conrad, I think it was 1899, published a book about a trader going up the Congo River to the heart of Africa. And that book is called Heart of Darkness. It's more of a psychological thriller, old-fashioned. It's pretty crazy though. Heart of Darkness is a classic. You guys have heard of this, right?
They have, no.
I honestly don't think I have.
Nope.
Right.
You're alone, man.
That's so sorry. So sorry.
It's cool. We all have our things. I'm obviously the only one wearing a wool coat right now, so it all seems to make sense. Okay, question 11.
Is Doug Gilmore in it?
The gentleman who wrote Never Cry Wolf, Lost in the Barrens was, of course, Farley Mowat. And he lived for 30 years in River, how many is that?
Bourgeois?
Bourgeois.
River Bourgeois.
Thank you. River Bourgeois. And after he passed away, he donated his land and property of about 200 acres to the Nova Scotia Nature Trust. Lee, is this a place? Do people go there? Is that like a tourism? Is that a place to go?
It's a place, yeah. I don't know if it's a focal in the tourism world, but yeah, it's a place. I'm not saying it's not bad tourism place, but as a focal, like, no. When you think of tourism in Cape Breton, you think of Cabot Trail, but
it's not the Kuzma Trail, no.
River Bourgeois, no. That's Cape North. No, Cape North area, yeah.
Farley Mowat, classic Canadian.
Yeah.
Question 12. Spent 28 years living on an island alone. It's a fictitious character based off of somewhat true events. was, of course, Robinson Crusoe. This book's really old, like 1719. Like, that's old. It's really old. It's 300 years old. 301 years old.
Dude, I have that book upstairs. I was just gonna go grab it. I think it's in the crawl space. It's like a reddish cover on it, and it's all torn to pieces.
Quite maybe an original.
Yeah.
The classic. Go read this. Question 13. Based on the true story, Island of the Blue Dolphins. Anybody? Island of the Blue Dolphins? No?
Crickets.
Crickets.
Yeah, sorry, Dave. No, that one.
All right, now I should leave this one out. All right. Island of the Blue Dolphins. Question 14. Who wrote 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Around the World in 80 Days? It was Jules Verne, French novelist. Jules Verne. All right. Question 15.
Woo!
A.A. Milne was the creator of the fictitious character Winnie the Pooh.
Hell yeah.
The Canadian connection here is that A.A. Milne's son, Christopher Milne, had named his toy bear after Winnie, a Canadian black bear who he often saw at the London Zoo, like London, England. Canadian Lieutenant Harry Colburn from Winnipeg purchased the bear for $20 in White River, Ontario, which is just north of Wawa, just east of Lake Superior, while en route to England during the First World War. He named the bear Winnie after his hometown of Winnipeg.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Not a solid connection, but it's definitely a connection. And people of White River think it's the coolest thing ever.
It's a heritage commercial as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you roll into White River, there's an A&W, a gas station, and a statue of Winnie the Pooh. That's it.
Yeah, love it. Love it.
All right, sweet. Thanks everybody for bearing with me there. Hope you learned something. And go look up Mina Hubbard. All right, Brad.
All right, so we're gonna learn about space now.
Yeah, how about send in your scores there. Tell us what you got.
Yeah, let's see what 9 out of 15 I see.
9 out of 15. That's pretty dang good. Ollie.
Jan Jensen, 9 out of 15. 7 out of 15 from Taylor. Tough one. Yeah, I agree.
Sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm not apologizing.
Yeah, don't apologize. You're teaching people things. 9 out of 15 from Meg. That's good. People are smarter than me.
11. Boom.
Wow.
See, Meg Morris. is on.
Adam Young. I thought you weren't playing Adam.
See, but he's a history buff, so.
Yeah, Adam would actually get that.
Yeah. But he probably missed the Mina Hubbard one.
11 out of 15, 10 out of 15. Actually, Ashley's up there. Ashley had like 15 out of 15 for mine, I think.
Very sweet.
Adam lied.
Did he lie about a score, or did he lie that he wasn't playing? I don't know.
All right, Bradley.
Bradley's do it, man.
Dump me.
All right.
You good to share your screen?
Yep.
Sweet.
We see it.
Yeah, man.
Cool. So this trivia is a little bit about our adventure going to the moon. All multiple choice, so even if you don't know the answer, you can just guess. And hopefully someone gets a 15 out of 15. First, this is a sound you want to listen to. It kind of all started with that sound. So the space race began, well, really, the space in general kind of started becoming a thing when they launched this one satellite. And it's the Soviet Union that launched this satellite up into space. And this is an image of it right here. And all it did was send a radio signal. So you could take your AM radio pointed up at the sky with a good little size satellite, and you could hear this. Anyone around the world could hear it as it's coming over. What was the name of this satellite? Cool.
So I want to hear more about your space school and working and for that company out in California.
I can tell you all the stories.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, no, I love it. So just so you guys know, this satellite was launched in October 4th, 1957 is when it was first up there.
Wow.
Which is kind of cool.
Is it still up there?
It has not still up there. No, it has since come down to the atmosphere and just burned up. So when this satellite went up, the United States was kind of worried. This was during the Cold War. And if you can launch a satellite into space, then you could probably weaponize that or use it to take photos of the United States and get an advantage during the Cold War. So the United States decided to, create a space association themselves, and they called it NASA. Quick question. What the heck does NASA stand for? And here's your answers.
Ooh, you give me options.
Yeah, so North American Space Association, National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or Northern Aerospace Safety Assembly. Cool. So after that satellite was put up into space, not even 2 months later, the Soviet Union put this little puppy up there. And I think, Dave, this is one of your trivia questions from the past.
Yeah.
So everyone already knows the name of this puppy.
No.
Laika. I think it's Laika. I think that's how it's pronounced. Anyways, this puppy went to space. That's the first living creature, first animal to go up into space, which is pretty dang cool. And that was literally only 2 months after they put the first satellite up there. So this guy right here is the first man that went into space. This happened in April 12th, 1961. Quick question for you. What is this guy's name? There's another photo of him here. Virgil Grissom, Yuri Gagarin, or Ventilia Transkova.
Yuri Gagarin sounds like he should be in Game of Thrones.
I'm not saying that's not true. So once this person went up into space, it was a huge deal. Like, it was clear that the Soviet Union was ahead of the United States in the space race, because up to this point, the United States hasn't really put anything into space yet. But they were trying to make this happen. Actually, in fact, they did put a monkey up into space, and it's funny. More than just monkeys have gone in space. They've sent like wasps, flies, fish, spiders, rabbits, bees, ants, frogs, like pretty much everything in space, because you didn't know at the time if the radiation was going to kill you or anything like that. So they had to test it out somehow. Anyways, yeah, so this is the first astronaut that went up into space. He's actually not an astronaut, he's a cosmonaut.
Your screen shifted a bit. Nobody can see the multiple choice right now. There you go.
Okay, cool. So this really kicked into gear, and the United States wanted to up the game and make the challenge even harder, giving them time to catch up. So this man
They may well ask,
did a speech.
why climb the highest mountain? Why 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon. choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other thing, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone. And therefore, as we set sail, we ask God's blessing on the most hazardous and dangerous, greatest adventure on which man has ever embarked.
What is that man's name? And I don't know if that video came through fine and everyone's seen it, but I don't know, does that like kind of give you guys the chills as well? Just kind of amps you up. What is that guy's name?
I know his name.
You do? You got it? All right, cool. Cool. So this man and their team put together how they're going to get to the moon, and they broke it up into a few different stages. So this first stage, they wanted to, one, put men into space, 2 men at a time, go outside of the spacecraft, walk around. They wanted to dock 2 spacecrafts together. And this was all training to go to the Apollo missions. And the Apollo missions is when they actually went out, leaving the Earth's orbit out to the moon. This program before the Apollo mission, when they were doing the training, what was the name of this program? Was it the Jupiter program? The Ruby? Gemini? All right, next question. This one's another video too.
9, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11. Tower clear.
So this rocket is the largest rocket ever created. The tallest, the most powerful. It's everything you could ever want in a rocket other than it being reusable. What is the name of this rocket? Is it the Saturn V, the Little Joe, the Jimmy 5?
I just want to make a special note that audio you heard on top of that, Black Sabbath sampled that and uses it at the beginning of the song Supernaut.
No.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Fantastic. Great song. So
with the rocket in hand, the first program now complete, they start the Apollo missions. And one of the first Apollo missions, all they did was just go around the moon and then come back. And when they were doing that, they snapped this photo.
That's crazy.
This photo is said to be the most influential environment photo ever taken. On this mission, astronaut William Anders took this photo and gave the photo what title? God's Creation, Earthrise, or Blue Origin? Cool. So he's going to come back safely, and then it's time for Apollo 11. And Apollo 11's the big one. It's the first time we got on the moon. They blast off. It takes them about 4 days to cruise along and get to the moon. And once they get to the moon, they have to detach. So there's the command module, and then there's a lunar module. And the lunar module will cruise down and land on the moon. And I think we all know the first words that Neil Armstrong said when he stepped on the
I'm
moon.
going to step off the limb. It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Neil Armstrong, badass for sure. But someone who is equally as badass is the guy who walked on the moon second. So came out right after him. What's the name of the second guy that ran on the moon? And then bonus points.
How funny is that?
That's a great question.
But bonus points for the guy that is still orbiting the Earth in the command, or orbiting the moon in the command module. And he's just not sitting back. He's like performing tests and doing science and stuff as he's cruising around. But still pretty badass that that's there. But yeah, so is it Stuart Rosa, Buzz Aldrin, or Alan Bean?
Like, how fair? That's so unfair that just one guy, he's sitting there, he's like 10 feet above the surface. They're like, nah, dude, you can't get out.
Yeah, no, this guy's gonna be the first man to walk on another celestial body.
He's gonna be the first man to go to the moon and not be able to touch it.
Right? Like, yeah, to be the guy up in the command module cruising around, you would almost hate your life. Like, you're so close, you know?
Good question.
Name of the second person on the moon. Great
Yeah.
question.
And so when they were on the moon, it wasn't, you know, they were doing work, but they were doing other stuff as well. Like just kind of having fun. And
One of the things you got to stop and
it's a
do,
little short video here.
make sure to have fun too, because you're only probably going to come this way once. I was strolling on the moon one day in a merry month of December. May, when much to my surprise, a pair of bunny eyes. Oh, that's a neat way to travel. Isn't it great?
Is that real?
Like, cool. That's totally real. Well, if you don't think the moon is a hoax, but, like, that could be a whole nother trivia right there.
Yeah.
I've never
You
seen
got
that.
like these astronauts performed a lot of really important science. At the time, we really didn't know how far away the moon was from Earth. So still on this to this day, there's mirrors that are up there. So you can shine a laser like a light at that mirror and calculate how much time it took to hit the moon and come back when it hits that mirror. And they know now to the foot how far away the moon is. So when these guys are out having fun, like they're figuring out how to walk, they're figuring out how to jump, to do research, and they're like rolling around in moon dust. And when they get back into the lunar module here, they're covered. Their white suits have turned brown. And they take their gear off and they can smell what the dust smells like. And the way they described it is the question. When they return back into the lunar module, their suits are covered in moon dust. What did they say it smelled like? Did it smell like cheese? Like wet ashes and gunpowder? Like the Astrodome? Who knows, man? Who knows? And you can see the size of this lander. And you can see what the astronaut there is. He's like reaching in. Those are like compartments where they store stuff. And in future missions, they had that moon rover. That moon rover actually folded up and went into one of those compartments. It took two of them, and they'd have to like pull it out, unfold it, and like connect it together, and then they could just drive around on it. But that bottom part, that's just all storage. The top part is where they're actually living in for the time that they're on the moon. When they're in there, where do you think that they did number 2? Or how did they do number 2? Did they do number 2 in like a plastic bag that was taped to their buttocks? Did they have enough room for a vacuum toilet? Or they had to wait until they returned back to the command module to go number 2?
Adam Young just wrote, anyone else see the I Got the Farts Jim space video?
No.
I haven't either. I'll have to look that up.
Share the link.
Yeah, share the link, Adam.
All right. Question number 11. So each astronaut that went up to the moon, they were able to bring some personal items, usually something small or something that like could fold down or be put together. And one astronaut, he ended up playing a sport on the moon. What sport is the first sport ever played outside of Earth, like on the moon? Was it baseball? It's got to be football. What's more American than that? Or is it golf? And it's not tennis. I'll give you that. But I did find this image on Google, and I thought it was fitting. All right, so Neil Armstrong and his partner that's on there, they perform a bunch of research, do a bunch of tasks. But how long were they on the moon's surface for? Was it about 35 minutes? Nearly 22 hours? Or was it about 4 days? I don't know.
I mean, I think I know this one, but maybe I don't.
Yeah. Okay, this next shot I'm going to show you guys is actually really neat. So once they're done on the moon, they blast off. They're going to go back up to the command module. But you imagine like you're in that module now. You can't really take a video of it.
3, 2, 1. Ignition. Right away, Houston. Vector good. Next spot.
So that's the lunar module right there, and that top part, which they live in, the habitat, that is just blasting off with like little rockets shooting up. I don't know if it's rockets. I think it's compressed air. I could be wrong on that one. That's kind of a guess. But so they blast off to go back up to the guy who's up in the command module to link back up with him. But to get that footage, this is one of the last Apollo missions, and it's the camera that's on the rover. So they had to time this with the delay with someone on the ground to get the shot and to move the camera up, following it along.
Whoa.
1. Ignition. Right away, Houston. Vector good.
No
Next
way.
spot.
It almost looks fake how it's just floating away like that.
That's
They had
great.
one chance to get that shot, and they actually got it.
One shot, yeah. It's perfect. So once that gets back up into the moon's orbit, it connects back with the command module, and then they go around the moon, shoot the rockets, come back to Earth. Once they get to Earth, they let the lunar module go, and that burns up in the atmosphere. And they take the capsule back down through the atmosphere, and they land in the ocean. And that's them coming back right there. You can kind of see how burnt up that capsule is coming through the atmosphere.
Crazy.
Question is for you. Apollo 11 spacecraft splashed down in what ocean? Was it the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, or the Indian?
Seems to me like I need to put down the Jules Verne novels and start reading about the moon.
So the moon is like, this is the first time people went to the moon. You don't know if it's safe to be on there or if there's like microbes that are dangerous. So when these astronauts got back, you imagine, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go party, I'm gonna go to the dome, get some double rum and cokes. Like, you're gonna have a great time, right? No, these astronauts all had to go to quarantine, and they had to go to quarantine in like what was it? Those like those silver trailers that are really awesome looking. What was it, Brent?
Streamline, no.
The nonetheless, it's a trailer, and they had to go into quarantine in there. How long do these astronauts quarantine for before they're allowed to interact with other people and like get out and actually go to the dome? Was it 7 days? 14 days? Oh my golly, 21 days?
I wonder if it was a Thursday when they let them out, though.
Dollar shots, y'all.
This is a relevant question for these times right now.
Yeah.
Totally is. Totally is. And my final question for you. So the Apollo 11 wasn't the only time that we went to the moon. How many times did humans land on the moon? Was it twice, 6 times, or 11 times?
Oh my God, is it sad that I don't really know the answer to this?
It's so funny, Chris, because I asked you, like, should I just do multiple choice or should I just, they guess the answer? You were like, multiple choice all the way.
Yeah. Well, this is great, man. And the videos, I've been watching the videos back on YouTube. They seem to be working well. So, yeah.
Fantastic. We got lucky. We got lucky. So that's all the questions. Email your answers into Chris there.
Trivia@afordventure.ca.
My mind is blown right now.
Yeah, it's so good. I want you to keep going. This is you're like a professional trivia player.
Is there a book I should read or something? Is there like a place I should go to seek this knowledge?
Dude, let's just hang out.
If I just come over, will Katie make me cookies and you can tell me stories?
She's making food right now, but she'll make cookies. She does that a lot.
It's weird because I'm a member of this organization called the Flat Earth Society. They don't send any of these things to me. I don't see any of this stuff.
I've watched like all the Flat Earth videos on YouTube. They're awesome.
It is awesome. It is
It's
awesome.
just mind-blowing how
They have
I really don't think anyone actually thinks the world is flat.
No, I do, man. I watched this documentary about there's a conference.
Yeah.
It's in Las Vegas or somewhere in the States. And I do think those people believe it. I really do.
It's so hard to believe that. I almost feel like it's just a congregation of people that just want to, F you to society and just go against the norm. And this is like one thing they can all just say like, yeah, okay, Earth is flat. And let's talk about aliens. Like aliens are real and they landed here and like.
I know. It's mind blowing. All right, we got a bunch of emails coming through. This is good. Let's see. Yeah, that was great, man. Good job.
That's fun.
Very good job.
Yeah, really good. I love how you like sequentially went through it from a series of events.
I know. That was very pro.
Well, I wanted to make it like a story. Like that's a brief history of our process of the moon. But now like all the craziness is happening over again with private companies getting into the space industry. You got Blue Origin, you got SpaceX, you got Virgin Galactic, and those are just the American ones. You got several European and Chinese companies as well doing amazing things.
You still have that video? You had the video. I made you delete out of there because I thought the videos weren't going to work.
How long do you think until somebody goes back to the moon? Does the U.S. have plans to do that?
So the Europe does, and the U.S. does. I think it's supposed to be like in the next 4 or 5 years, we're supposed to go to the moon. But I think it'll be before that. Yeah. So the United States is working on, the Space Launch System, which is a rocket about the size of the Saturn V. And it's there to launch really heavy payloads. So their goal is to launch basically a space station that orbits the moon, and then use private space flight like SpaceX and Blue Origin to get people to and from the moon's orbit into that space station, and then also private companies that would take you from that space station down to the moon. So it's like an outpost there for people to do more research, and the whole industry is opening up. Like it's becoming a thing.
So I saw on the news yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, that the Chinese had sent a rocket up with a super heavy payload, like one of the heaviest that had ever been attempted to get into, I don't know, low orbit.
I haven't heard of it.
Read about this, and it went wrong. And
Did it? What happened?
It came back into orbit, came back into the atmosphere, like it bounced off, or I don't know how it works, but like I imagine it works like an eddy in a river, like you can bounce off of it if you don't have enough momentum. And you come back, and it missed New York City by 13 minutes, crashed down into the Atlantic Ocean close to the Ivory Coast.
Didn't hear that. That's wild. That's that would have really sucked. That could have gone way wrong. Well, I guess it did go wrong. Could have been worse.
Could have been bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I have quite a few emails and nothing in the last minute. So,
Answer time?
yeah, good to go. Answer time. And then I'll do the random draw after the answers.
Cool. So, what was the name of the first satellite that orbited the Earth? It was Sputnik. And the Soviet Union actually launched one just after this called Sputnik 2 as well. National Aeronautics and Space Administration. Didn't know if you guys would notice this, but it's been on my shirt the whole night. So some of you guys might have seen that. I don't know. That was a little clue, a little hint. Yuri Gagarin.
Oh, no way.
He's the man.
I'm so sorry.
So every
wrong?
year there's like Yuri Gagarin night, and people around the world celebrate and go and get drinks as if it's like Canada Day to celebrate this man for risking his life to go do this. The first American was Alan Shepard, and he actually only went into space 1 month and 1 day after Yuri did. Kind of cool.
Very cool.
What's the name of this president? John F. Kennedy. Yeah.
That was a giveaway.
Yeah, that was a good one. His speech, though, I don't know, when you listen to it, like, just kind of gets you going.
Yeah.
What is this name of the program? The Gemini program. Yeah. The Gemini program is so significant. It was the first time there was an EVA, which is external vehicle. I don't know what it stands for. But anyways, when people did their first spacewalks, the first time two man-made objects came together and docked. So many records were breaking at the time for how long people were living in space for. Yeah.
I bet Carter's still using that digital camera there.
And to still have that digital camera, that's epic. What was the name of the rocket? Saturn V. Yeah. So it's number 5 because there was the Saturn 1, the Saturn 2, and they're all working their way up to this behemoth of a rocket. This photo is called Earthrise, and it was for sure in National Geographic's. Second man on the moon, Buzz Aldrin. And bonus, it was Michael Collins who was cruising around on the moon. Yeah, so when they returned back to into their shuttle there, or to their capsule, they said that the moon dust smelled like wet ashes and gunpowder.
Right, this is 1960. What year was it? 4?
No, 69.
69.
Yeah.
So wet ashes and gunpowder would have been a little more culturally relevant in 69 than it would be now.
I think so.
I don't think anyone now would use that to describe anything.
No. So the next question is, how did the astronauts poo in space in the capsule? What would you guys have guessed for that?
Hold on to it.
Hold on to it.
No, I think it was the bag.
There's
Vacuum.
the bag, and there was
Bag.
the vacuum toilet bag. That's right. Plastic bag taped to your buttocks.
Oh man.
Had to go
that's
on a
crazy.
few of those.
Yeah.
So we've all done the buttocks or the bag to the buttocks. Life's great, but there's very little gravity on the moon. So yeah, just go with that.
All right.
Yeah, and they had the same process for when they were traveling to the moon as well. So there wasn't a bathroom on the command module that's orbiting the moon. So the same sort of deal. Still had to use the bag, and there's pretty low to no gravity up there.
2 questions. Do you think they had to tape the bag on each other's bums?
Ooh, I don't
And
know.
do you think they just took the bags outside when they went for a spacewalk and let them go? Do you think that was the first intergalactic garbage?
Girl, could have been. They had to return it all. So the bag sealed up, and they brought it all home.
They brought it for scientific reasons.
You gotta leave it the way you found it, Dave. You know this.
Leave no trace.
And then the first sport that was played, golf. Yeah. Golf. Yeah, he brought 2 golf balls with him. The first one he whacked, it went into like a crater. And the second one he whacked, he said it just went on and on and on just through the sky. You can imagine the moon is, I don't know, I think it's 1/3 of the gravity. Maybe it's 1/4. It's like in between those 2 numbers. So you imagine you can jump almost 4 times as high or hit a golf ball 4 times as far. How long did Neil and Buzz spend on the moon's surface? 22 hours.
Whoa.
22 hours. It was actually 21 and a half hours. Would you guys sleep at all?
No.
No.
Never.
Did they sleep?
There was time allotted for them to sleep, but I don't think they slept much at all.
Oh yeah, no, you can't sleep.
No. Next question. They landed in the Pacific Ocean. Yeah, so they had like a big military aircraft ship come out, and then helicopters come. And you can see them there.
They landed fairly close to their targeted zone then.
Yeah, and you can see how these guys, they're covered in like full mask gear, so they don't want any of those dangerous moon microbes getting them.
Wow.
And that was getting them ready for their 21-day quarantine.
That's nothing.
Yeah, nothing. If they only knew. Okay, so the last one was, how many times did humans land on the moon? Any guesses?
2 times.
4, or was it? Was 4 an option?
6 times total.
6 times.
So each time 2 men went out and walked, and so a total of 12 people have been on the moon. Yeah. Yeah, so that ended in 1969.
Are any women?
No, only men have been on the moon. Yeah, so not trying to be sexist or anything. But yeah. Only yeah.
Adam Young sent me the video of the fart comment. So I feel like I need to play that.
Yeah.
Before I pick the so how do I do? Let's try.
I sure think it's paying off. You guys done outstanding. Fortunate. I've got to again, George. I mean, I haven't eaten this much citrus fruit in 20 years. I'll tell you one thing. In another 12 fucking days, I ain't never eating anymore. I put them up over the in there. They ain't there. Houston? Okay, I got you. What do you
believe you trusted him.
There you go.
He's a piano player.
I've learned so much. That was great, man. Morning, he said. Oh, I saw that after. That's all good. Awesome. So I'm gonna do the random draw. And what everybody, we got 11s and 12s and 13, 11, 10. Decent scores. The random winner, actually, what is the prize here? What am I looking for? I should look at that. I think it's the, this is the, yeah, there's a North Face bag. Jan sent me a photo of it.
Starman just still chilling out there?
Still chilling.
Is he in orbit or is he continually moving through space?
He's on an orbit between like Mars and the sun.
Okay.
You see those things? I don't know. Maybe it's not working. There's like a Yeti mug and some cups and lip balm and North Face stickers and Afer Venture stickers and a bunch of stuff. And the random winner, Victoria Palmer.
Woo!
Yeah.
There you go.
So once we get, I will tally up the winners here. What did everybody have? Like, what's the overall score of the 3 rounds combined? I'm curious. I'm gonna have to go through them, and I'll pick the winner, and the winner will get the one more film for the Cabot Trail, which Night Adventure, Afer Venture has bought from Lee to support the cause. Lee, thanks again, buddy, for
That's all good, man.
doing what you're doing, and thanks for coming and helping us out. And they also win a 4-pack from North Brewing, and we'll throw in some other Afer Venture and North Face little tidbits there as well. But yeah, dude.
Hey, keep the dream alive up in CB for us.
Yeah.
Oh, always, man. Always. Trying to
There you
figure it out.
Yeah, what did everybody have? What's the overall scores? What are your three?
My mind is still like, I can't get past the moon. I'm still thinking about it.
I know. I kind of feel like I need to learn more and like read more
Man.
books.
Did anyone get 15 out of 15?
I haven't seen it yet. 13 is the highest from Jesse McDougall.
Jesse, good job.
We got Tracy at 12, Ashley McDonald at 12,
Nice.
Jennifer Milne had 12. We got 10 from Taylor. Yeah, 11 from San.
Christina Aguilera got 13 out of 15.
Dang.
Nice. Yeah, that was great.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Awesome.
trivia. I learned so much today.
Trivia.
Adding is tough.
Y'all have
Salted
homework?
Biscuit just said that was fun. We were with Dave. I can't add right now. That's fair.
Salted biscuit.
31 out of 45. Good job, Taylor.
Salt biscuit. That must be a Newfie term.
30 out of 45. Birthday Boy and Co. had a fantastic time and won some beer.
Bam, bam.
30 out of 45. Not bad.
Yeah, 31.
That's it though, is it? Must be. Oh man, we had hard trivia tonight. Of 30 out of 45 is the highest.
I think Ashley McDonald had some good scores. I think she had higher than that, I think.
Yeah.
Not writing in the comments, but I'll go through and look at them all and get the winner, and I'll email the winner, and we'll figure out how to connect. We still have some prizes from like week 1, like the I think Taylor won that like survival kit from North Face. We still haven't given that to him yet.
Are you Taylor?
Maybe I feel like there's two survival kits things that we haven't given to people yet.
Those the vessels?
Yeah.
Yeah, and just so everyone listening out there, we know the adventure grant closed on May 1st. It's been a couple of weeks now, but we're still
Surprised they're gonna draw it.
We're not drawing it tonight. We're still not entirely sure what we're going to do in all this COVID business going on, but we're definitely gonna do something. But so just hang tight.
Yeah.
And, everything's up in the air, as you all know. We can't outrightly promote people to do certain things, but we can covertly promote people to do other things.
Although I got an email from Parks today saying that they're going to start opening June 1st in Cape Breton.
Yeah, no camping yet, but
No.
parks and historic sites. There's a whole bunch of them. There's like 170 national historic sites and like 30 something parks.
Whoa, Ashley McDonald, 37 out of 45.
Yeah.
No shit.
I told you. I had my eye out. Peter Wright had 36.
Good. That's very good.
Amazing. Cool. All right. Well, I think that's a wrap.
I'm just sending a link out here because the 4 of us are on a Zoom call right now.
Yeah.
And if anyone wants to come over to the Zoom call and
put it. You can put it in the comments if you want, Dave.
throw it in the comments there. And if anyone wants to come over to the Zoom call and hang out and drink a beer with me.
Feel crazy, man. Just throw her in there.
Yeah, throw it right in.
Get her wild, Dave.
9:30.
Yeah, it's only 9:30. Yeah, we wrapped it up early. Good job, boys.
Yeah,
9:30. 9:30.
9:30 Atlantic, 10 o'clock in Newfoundland.
I don't know if it's a big deal for you guys, but the season finale of Survivor was on last night.
I actually, Jen's mom watches Survivor, and she talked about that today. 3 hours long.
Thankfully, I wish it was 5. We haven't watched it yet, but that's what's happening later on tonight. And both Katie and I are pretty pumped.
Serious.
I know the winner.
Yeah. It's
You want me to tell you who won?
what's that? I am muting.
Amazing.
All right, well, Brad, thanks so much for coming out. My mind is blown still. If we do another round of trivia, we don't really know. We haven't discussed it at all. But if we do another one, you might have to take my spot and come up with another round because that was awesome. Excuse me. That was.
I'd be a spectator next time. Jan took the night off this time, but I'd be a spectator for sure. And I think
Happy to.
I'm noticing like the numbers were a little bit down from last time. I think it's just because it was a nice night and it's still light out now.
Still light out when we started.
Yeah, it looked like there's only about 30 teams, which is still great. I mean, it's amazing. I would do it just for one team and just for, just something for us
Brad
to
to
do.
tell me stories about space. Man, I'm gonna be able to sleep tonight.
I know. Well, yeah, thanks everyone for coming. Thank you, boys, for coming. Thank you, Lee, all the way. I can't believe the Wi-Fi lasted that long in Marguerite. I'm very
Dude, I know. Trust me. That's because Allie's she was cooking, not using Netflix.
Oh yeah.
So it was one person on the Wi-Fi this time. But Brad, yeah, man, I didn't get to meet you, but I'm Lee, by the way. Virtual handshake.
Nice to meet you, man. For sure.
Yeah, man. So, but yeah, so we staying on this thing to have a couple drinks or what?
Yeah, let's have a chat. Again, check out the Cabot Trail documentary. Honestly, Lee, I was very impressed, man. You guys did an amazing job. If anyone listening hasn't watched it, I'm pumped for you.
Yeah.
Chris, how do we watch the documentary? Where do we find it?
It's a
Send
great
me
50
link me up with Brad. Give me a message on whatever platform, or Chris, link me up with his email, and I'll give you a stream. I'll send the code over to you.
Yeah, we'll say goodbye to the live stream. See you, everybody. Thanks for playing. Appreciate it.